Thank you very much for inviting me for today's conversation, and especially a topic which is very pertinent, and very glad to be here to be sharing my thoughts. I'd like to start with a quote from Alvin Toffler, who's a renowned writer and futurist, which says, "The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn." The future of learning and development will be shaped by skills that are going to go way beyond the technical expertise. And as we move into the next decade, there is going to be a profound shift in the way we approach talent development. I'd like to focus on the top five skills, with the first being adaptability. Adaptability will be critical, and professionals need to be able to evolve, not just with tech, but just with the new ways of thinking. Learning agility is going to define the workforce of tomorrow, really enabling people to be able to pivot and thrive in unpredictable environments. Second, which is very close to my heart, is on emotional intelligence and leadership. It's going to take the center stage. It's not enough to be skilled. Professionals need to be able to connect, to be able to empathize and lead with a human-first approach. I was reading a recent report by Deloitte, which really highlights some of the critical skills on emotional intelligence, leadership, communication, and collaboration being increasingly critical. And it's the leaders of the future will be those who can truly inspire, nurture collaboration, and create those inclusive and collaborative cultures. The third being digital fluency is going to be very important. It's going to be beyond just understanding tools. It's about how do you embrace and harness technology for learning, where as professionals we're able to leverage AI and create those innovative learning experiences that are going to be very personalized for our learners and absolutely immersive. Fourth is on data-driven decision making, which is important. There's a plethora of data which we can gather from learning management systems and LXPs. Learning partners and professionals would need to be skilled enough to be able to analyze those learning outcomes, being able to gauge and analyze engagement metrics and performance indicators, to be able to advise business leaders around how to make those data-driven decisions that really shape the learning strategies. Now, the key here would be learning needs to be intertwined with your business strategy, and data becomes the fundamental, bedrock to be able to drive those strategies that really translate to business outcomes. And finally, we will see a lot of focus going on lifelong learning. In the next decade, careers will no longer follow those linear paths. So fostering that growth mindset and having a commitment towards learning will ensure professionals really remain relevant and remain competitive. And learning and development will need to shift from really having that traditional mindset to a more coaching and mentoring approach that promotes lifelong learning. While at the heart of all of this transformation that really I highlighted is really the belief that investing in people is going to be investing in the future. And as we really build on some of these skills that's going to define the next decade, it's important that we empower individuals, we empower teams and organizations to truly excel in ways we have never seen before.
Each individual's need is different, and we need to help them acquire the skills which are relevant for their growth and development. In light of the same, we ran a large-scale intervention program last year with Korn Ferry and Mercer, where majority of our employees went through an assessment, which not only provided them insight into their competency levels, but also their capability vis-a-vis the expectation of the specific roles that they were performing at that time. Now, the interesting part here is that instead of assessing people against the broad level competencies, specific role nuances for each individual were captured. This helped each one of them to identify the aspects that they need to focus on to enhance their effectiveness. The other aspect that we focus on is to ensure that the learning is happening in an environment which is close to the real workplace of the employees, either by taking learning to the employee workplace or creating a simulated space where the employees can learn. Typically, we always prefer that our employees visit our OEM sites and get trained on the live products, so the inverters, transformers, which is where they work. They actually get to see them, feel them, really learn on the live products directly, and it takes the level of their training and understanding to a couple of notches higher than how it could have been done in a workshop manner. Uh, Another important aspect of L&D here, or learning for employees, is to remain abreast with the technology and the new trends, and we absolutely do not overlook that. So whether it is AI, ML, use of chat GPT, or data analytics, most of these are the regular features on our calendar. Behavior and softer skills also remain an integral part of any employee performance and development. So they have to be an integral part of your learning journey. For any L&D professional, what's most important is to maintain that right balance between the traditional ways of imparting training and the new age technology.
Hi, this is Anjali Sharma and I lead the learning and development practices globally at Fulcrum Digital. In changing times, one thing will going to be constant, which is keeping ourselves aligned with evolving business needs. We all are recognizing that AI is transforming the entire landscape, including learning and development. We're not saying that people will lose their jobs, but they have to be adaptable. Keeping our people relevant in the current context, we have designed gamified role-based AI learning path for them. We also have something called ICDP, which is Individual Career Development Plans, where they decide what they want to learn with the help of their mentors and L&D team. To keep the constant learning culture, we also have 90% of our calendar programs delivered by our own SMEs, which helps us keep the domain and industry knowledge intact. At the same time, that also helps us to deliver the bite-sized learning, which is the need of an hour in hybrid working models. Now, with all these changes, what we have kept our focus on, or we continue to do, is the developing leadership competencies at each level, be it Fulcrum First Time Manager Program or MDPs, LDPs, one-on-one coachings for our leader, developing our women leader for future. For instance, in this program, we don't prepare women to seek help, we prepare women to seek equality. Competencies like empathy, we have kept it at each level because we feel that skills like decision making or change management is still going to be something which humans have to take. So yes, that's from my side. Thank you.